What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and one of the all-time greatest oofs, one of the all-time greatest demotions just happened and played out on the world stage. Kamala Harris's new job is an exceedingly humiliating one, but a fitting one, and one she seems to be extremely good at, considering the biggest part of the job is doling out meaningless word salad to people who visually hate you, people who really hate you. I don't really know how else to describe the level of hate that this individual garners, but I want to start off with just a little bit of what Kamala Harris has now been doing since she's been unemployed, including a brutal snub from Carrie Underwood at the inauguration, adding insult to injury. The whole thing is absolutely savage. Maybe she could get a job selling, some sheath, perhaps, to some people. Huge shout out to an important channel sponsor. This channel sponsor, Sheath, has stuck with us for a very long time. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Sheath. You know, I've been standing behind this product for many years, and there's a reason why. And fellas, I know this isn't something you think about very often, but I promise if you give Sheath a try, you're going to be really happy with their product. Sheath was invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it's hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. The boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has two individual compartments that keep everything down there separate, cool, and comfortable. And fellas, you know what I'm talking about. I was a little skeptical of the dual pouch thing, but let me tell you what, it's a game changer. And by the way, if you're not into that idea, you don't have to use them. I don't always use them, especially if the weather's pretty mild and I don't necessarily need it. You can just wear them like a regular pair of underwear if you want. Just in time for the holidays, Sheath has also rolled out new holiday plaid and their winter base layer set for ski season. If you're in Wisconsin, ski season might be for the fun times, but it's also very handy when you have to shovel that driveway or have to be outside for any amount of time. It really makes a big difference with the cold and the wind. Sheath will be the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life. Plus, they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling comfort. Go to sheathunderwear.com/thequartering and get the most comfortable underwear you've ever worn. It also makes a great gift, ladies out there. If you use promo code TheQuartering, you'll also get 20% off your order. Head on over to sheath.com and promo code TheQuartering for 20% off your order. I know it's kind of a weird thing to think about, but fellas, give them a try. They're absolutely wonderful products. Ladies love them too, and they're a great product. And they don't care about cancel culture either. They back the channel. Unemployed Kamala Harris jets back to LA. Probably didn't have access to Air Force One anymore, or Air Force Two. Had to probably fly commercial. Will hand out food to people affected by the wildfires after weeks of giving them the cold shoulder. So this is a woman that has not made any time to go out and visit the wildfire victims or to, get out there and be on the ground. These are also people who are raging about Trump not doing that. But Kamala Harris, the fires have been over for mostly over now for over a week. Kamala Harris has other things to do, folks. She is a busy woman. She's one of the most busy women on the planet. And you know that because of how much she drinks. I guess I don't know. The level of busyness must far exceed what anyone could have imagined, because she couldn't take any time to go visit those affected by the wildfires in her state, the state where she wants to run to be governor. So only now is she going out and glad-handing people, and the whole thing is embarrassing. Newly unemployed Kamala Harris and second gentleman Doug Emhoff are slinking back to LA today, where they will pass out food to wildfire victims after all but ignoring their plight for the last 2 weeks straight. The former vice president has formally left the White House and is returning to her mansion in the wildfire-ravaged city after losing the election to President Trump in November. Harris is expected to fly to her home state with, of course, an all-female U.S. Air Force crew, DEI until the end. DEI until the end. Like, I guess you have to give her some credit for going down with the ship. I guess some. You have to give some credit for going down with the ship, I would suppose. I wonder how the flight was. Not to say that women pilots aren't good. My wife's a woman pilot, a lady pilot, but she certainly was not hired via DEI. The former Vice President Harris expected to fly home with her DEI crew. The visit will be the very first time she's bothered visiting her home state after the deadly blazes began on January 7th, almost 2 weeks ago, despite having her lavish $4.8 million Brentwood home lying in the evacuation zone at the height of the threatening Palisades fire. Harris was skewered last week for her trademark word salad as she attempted to urge displaced Angelonians not to rush back to homes that are still in evac zones. Well, where are they supposed to go? You guys gave them $700 and told them, I mean, that's 2 nights in a hotel, maybe only one in LA, considering the crazy demand that they're going to have. It's critically important, to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do, she said. What? Everything she says reads like a middle schooler who got an essay assignment that had a word count. And so they're going back through and using the thesaurus to try and add words to hit a minimum word count. Harris has kept her future plans close to her vest along with her Cavassier. However, even in the face of rumors that she's mulling a run at California governor seat in 2028, can you imagine if California votes her? I think it would be spectacular if California voted for Kamala Harris. It would provide an inordinate amount of hilarious content for this channel, but it would also be just fitting for all the people that didn't feel bad for them the first time this happened. Like, the very first time, I get it. I even got sucked into that, like, kind of quote-unquote laughing at these people and saying, like, oh, well, ha ha ha, it's Hollywood creeps, who cares, But at the end of the day, it's really only a few of Hollywood creeps, mostly just regular people. The fact, if California votes for Kamala Harris, someone who is probably even more progressive than Gavin Newsom, I would just be tickled pink. It would be one of the most hilarious things that California has ever done. Like, quite literally amazing in every conceivable way. I can't imagine that they would do this. It's so wild to me. Embattled Governor Newsom is term limited and rumored to be eyeing his own campaign for president. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Gavin Newsom running against J.D. Vance. What an incredible thing that would be. We saw Tim Walz debating J.D. Vance. That wasn't very good. But here is even more hilarious. By the way, we're going to get to more over word salad too. TikTok psychics who previously predicted that Kamala Harris would be victorious are now live imagining, quote, another pathway for her imminent return.
That this was the final day, this was the 11th hour, and now it looks like it wasn't the 11th hour, which is very confusing. But I know that I thought it was because it was logical.
Yeah,
it was like,
exactly.
My guide said 11th hour. They didn't give me a date. Guide. I interpreted it to mean today because logically I couldn't see any other solution.
Okay.
So I guess we're now being called upon to figure, kind of imagine that there's another pathway.
What would that be exactly?
Vision that we saw of the Lotus POTUS, right? There's another pathway. And
what is that pathway? Something bad happens to Trump and they install Kamala? Is that the other pathway?
And, and I want to remind people that one of the things that I was told
by who
is that it was probably going to be a neutral third party. And I was also told one of these inter-realm agencies, like the NATO or the ICC or the G7 or the
we're just going to install her?
And 3 of those organizations have made statements in the last week.
Okay.
Specifically about finagling of jousts. Mm-hmm. And 2 of those organizations have visited the Capitol in the last week. So again, as Kate points out, we have a lot of facts, right, that support our intuition.
What?
And yet here we are without
You're frauds.
Without yet the happy ending that we have envisioned.
It's curious that all these are women, by the way. I mean, completely unhinged. People think Carrie Underwood snubbed Kamala Harris. Carrie Underwood snubbed Kamala Harris at Inauguration Day when she skipped shaking her hand as she shook other hands around her. Pop culture account Mr. Pop tweeted on Monday, January 20th. A much different statement from the one she gave about coming together in unity. Another ass and surprise, Carrie Underwood didn't shake Kamala Harris's hand. Wow, just wow. Carrie Underwood shaking everyone's hands but Kamala. Let's see. Joe Biden ignored her, went to Trump. Okay. She shook Biden and Trump's hand. Oh, and JD Vance. I mean, maybe it was a snub. Maybe, baby. It's possible. But what's undeniable is this woman is a disaster. Here she is now landed in LA, delivering a delicious word salad to the LA Fire Department.
Strangers who, in the face of that stranger, they see a neighbor. These are folks who understand the strength and the value of community, which is everyone coming together with a shared sense of purpose and identity as a community of people.
What?
And I wanted to come by, most importantly, to thank them, those who have volunteered and have brought people together and have sacrificed so much, and our firefighters. And I mentioned to these firefighters the fact that California firefighters,
what? They're the best?
Time and time again prove themselves to be the best.
Oh, what a prediction. Again, no disrespect to the firefighters on the ground. It's not like they're the hundreds of people starting these fires. It's not like they're the wild amounts of alleged immigrants that are starting these fires. But I do think it's pretty bizarre. Like, it's pretty bizarre. I don't really understand on what planet this would be. You know, on what planet this would even make sense. But I guess, I don't know. Ripperonis, I hope this isn't the last we see of Kamala Word Salad Harris. She's absolutely the best. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.